lot of people up is this story about what's going on in Nuneaton, right? This is Warwickshire police who basically covered up the backgrounds of 2 Afghan asylum seekers who've been charged in the alleged rape of a 12-year-old girl in Nuneaton itself, right? They believe that unrest would break out like what was seen in Epping, where an Ethiopian asylum seeker staying in a hotel has been charged with trying to kiss a 14-year-old schoolgirl, right? Big piece in the Mail today. Warwickshire police have said they were following national policy in not sharing ethnicity or immigration status. How is that national policy? We live in what we like to think is a free country, right? So therefore we, as the public, deserve to know the ethnicity and the immigration status of anybody who is accused of a crime, because otherwise they're withholding information from us, which is going to lead to even more people getting even more angry, right? And Chris Philp has weighed into it, saying the police must be open about who's committing these alleged offences and not try to hide it. Otherwise, we risk a repeat of the rape gang scandal, where horrendous crimes were covered up because of the identity of the perpetrators. Why have they not learned?
This is when it leads to accusations of cover-up.
Yeah.
Why are we not being told?
Yeah.
It is a matter of public record, is it not?
Well, it should be, but if they're concealing it, then it's not an act of public record, and therefore we cannot find out about it, and it will be the same as all the Afghan people who came here under the Afghan resettlement scheme, tens of thousands of them, who we never knew about because the government, and in the first case was the Tories, and then secondly the Labour Party, didn't want us to know. It's outrageous.
It's absolutely outrageous. And this is when we get into people being pushed into conspiracy theories about, cover-ups and who's who.
Well, apparently it's not a conspiracy theory. It's actually going on before your very eyes.
I know, but when we are not even being told this stuff, when there's two-tier policing, when these decisions are being made based on, we don't want to inflame tensions, or we don't want to incite violence, or whatever.
Yeah, well, too late, I think, for that is the thing.
Because they've created the situation in which people don't feel safe in their communities.
Yeah.
And they're being branded as racist.
And it's happening all over the place. There's a story also around this morning, another, I don't think there's a charge yet, but a Sudanese man, an asylum seeker, sorry, there is a charge. So he's been alleged of attempting to kidnap a 10-year-old girl. And I'm sorry, if there was one of these cases, that would be bad enough, but there's now dozens of them all over the place.
I cannot tell you the number of mothers I spoke to on Saturday, and I'm just going to say it, who said, I'm not letting my little girls out. The men stand in the flats, they film on their mobile phones. They film the little girls.
Yeah.
I'm not mentioning our ethnicity, but these are the asylum seekers in the asylum hotel, and people who've lived there for 40, 50 years, who bring up their families there, the little girls are being watched all day long in playgrounds, in splash pads, in paddling pools. Yeah. It's just horrific.
It is horrific. And by the way, the phones they're using have been paid for by you and I. So isn't that great?